priorities that continues to grow, not lessen, as our population continues to grow by leaps and bounds. Who starts, Kevin or Liz? Kevin says, it's your potato.
Oh, housing. It's all about back to the pie and what we figure is priority. The problem that I have with the housing development and what we're going to do to fix that is, first, I think they have the cart ahead of the horse. I don't know how we address housing and being able to maintain a house until we address some of the economic issues we have. It's really, it costs money to maintain a house. And if there's no jobs and we're not willing to make some sacrifices in another area, I just really don't see how it's going to work. As far as houses on the reservation, we've always run into this issue of tribal land, and it's hard to get around the issue of the loans if the individual doesn't own the land. And so that's something else that we need to look at. Are those areas that the state and the tribe could work together? Probably, if we could get both sides to the table. And there'd have to be some concessions. Banks don't loan money on land that they can't mortgage. And so the way the laws are written now, that's just not, it can't happen. So yeah, it might be an area that we could work with as long as we could get everybody to the table.
And I was looking up that specific bill that we passed, and it was Senate Bill 235. I think we passed that when in my first year on the State Affairs Committee. And being on that committee is it was a real hard choice, because when you first get elected, you get asked on which committees you want to serve on. And we all have interests on that stuff, but because if you're in a majority party or minority party, you get put in certain places. You can't help it. But yeah, you have a request. But one of the my request was sitting on the Judiciary and Education Committee, because the importance of young people, but also judicial issues affect us all the time. And and they asked me to serve on the State Affairs Committee, but that was a really big opportunity, because a lot of the leadership of our legislature sits on the committee. And to elevate our issues at that level was a really step up. And I think it was hard. It was really hard for me to do that. The education, it really was. And I think that's something that. But at the same time, we had an opportunity to pass this bill, Senate Bill 235, that included reservations. As part of that conversation, including housing opportunities and a housing fund. That included all South Dakota reservations. And so that's something that, as a state legislator, you can kind of keep working towards, but also, finding new partnerships with like Thunder Valley, what they're doing, but also working with the Oklahoma Dakota Sioux Housing Authority and partnership with housing. So I think, and they've been coming up to the legislature, having those conversations about how can we have more opportunities, but it is take a partnership between the feds, the states, and the tribes to really, initiate and open that conversation. So yeah, there is a need, and we know that. And we're working towards that, and we're doing the best we can.
I remember long ago, my grandma used to tell me that Pine Ridge was called Tent City because we didn't have housing. And everybody used to live in white canvas tents. And it was what it was Tent City. And and thanks to people like Mr. Johnson, Holy Rock, that we have housing today. And we have to look at that as a prime example of how we can lead our people out of despair. And HUD Secretary Castro was just at Thunder Valley yesterday, and he was surprised at the amount of people who live in 2-bedroom homes. And I applaud Thunder Valley for what they're doing there with their housing opportunities and the type of housing they want to bring into Thunder Valley. The affordable green home living. With the you look around everywhere, people live in desolate homes, and the work that legislation does, it becomes hard for people, to try and attain homes and to try to achieve you know, their dream of having their own home, because like the banks don't give us home loans because, you know, like Liz was saying, we don't own our land. And it's a big risk for a bank to take on us, especially tribal land, because, you know, we can lose that land at any time. So going back to, you know, how Mr. Holy Rock was able to, you know, go to DC, and it took him numerous times and visits and, you know, talks and everything, but because of people like him, we have to keep going and trying to achieve more housing, try to bring housing awareness to front page America News, and let it be known that, you know, we do live in desolate homes, that we do live, you know, 5, 6 families to one home. You know, let people know, so, you know, our housing change can come.
Thank you, Anna. We've been listening to both Anna Diaz-Takes the Shield and Kevin Killer, both on the Democratic tickets running for the State House, and Liz May on the Republican ticket running for the State House. We've covered a number of different issues. Maybe there are some issues that you would like to cover more, and I want to give you time for a closing statement for each candidate. And we'll start with Kevin and go from there with a closing statement.
Thank you, Tom. And I just want to say, you know, thank you to, you know, everybody in the audience, and thank you to Woksape College, Keeley, for hosting this, and for the, you know, the students sitting here. You know, I know sometimes it can kind of seem long-winded and stuff like that, but, you know, it's just good to have that kind of exposure to, you know, your elected officials. And, you know, just growing up in, like, Denver, you know, when I was going to high school, I never would have had this type of exposure or interaction with elected officials. So, you know, just to have that is really unique, you know, to really, you know, be able to talk to us and, you know, be able to go to Kyle Grocery and talk to Liz about what's going on and all that kind of stuff. That's a unique opportunity. You know, I just want to say thank you for sitting through this debate. You're going to hear more people talking, so just be prepared for that. You know, I just want to say it's been a tremendous honor to, you know, represent our overall Dakota Oriate, and just, you know, I learned a lot, and it's been humbling, you know, and I think that, you know, I was thinking about, you know, some of the people that helped me on my past campaign, and, you know, they kind of passed on, and that's one of the tough things about politics is that, you know, you get engaged, and you get people who really support your candidacy, but, you know, they eventually move on or pass on. They're not there to really, you know, be there for you. You know? And, you know, and I was thinking about 2 young people in particular who really helped me, you know, get out the vote, get their friends to vote. You know, unfortunately, they committed suicide. They were my campaign workers. And I think the Obama, you know, I remember when President Obama ran in 2012, that was a big deal for some young person on their campaign to die. And, you know, he was, you know, rest in peace with that person. But, you know, in the whole time that I've been serving, you know, just to have that reality, that's the reality that I want to share with other legislators. And, you know, I would be, you know, truly honored if you would support my candidacy again and really help me, help the rest of the community in doing that. And it's been, you know, like I said, it's been an honor, and we've been able to make great connections nationally. And, you know, I've been able to visit the White House 3 times, you know, and that's something I could never imagine, you know, just to do that. And you know, it's just, you know, there's just a lot of opportunity to get involved and make sure that our voices get heard, especially at the federal and state level, but also at the local level. We see a good representation here at the panel of local government and the state government, but we're also talking about federal issues and how that impacts us. So, you know, like I said, just get out there and vote, make sure our voices are heard, and you know, I'm glad that Anna brought up, you know, Julian Castro. Julian was actually one of my political mentors when I first started running, you know, so he was on the San Antonio City Commission when he ran. And, you know, he gave us a speech. You know, he was 29 at the time when I was 25, and he was like, yeah, stay involved, stay active, and things like that. Now, you know, he might run for vice president or president someday. And for him to actually come here and see those realities, I think that's really, really unique. And he's part of a network both Anna and I are part of. It's called the Young Elected Officials Network. And it's all elected officials in the country who are under the age of 35 who are working towards change, who are working for change in the community. So, and, you know, we want to make sure Liz gets, you know, is the honorary member of that network. But, but I'm 35, so I'm getting ready to get on that network, so getting older. So anyway, but, you know, I just want to say, you know, please thank you again to Woksape, Keeley, thank you to the listeners, you know, and it has been a tremendous honor to get your support for the past 6 years. I just humbly ask again, that you remember us at the ballot. Allow me to pitch to you.
Thank you, Tom, and the college here. What a great opportunity. District 27, like I said, is such a big district, it's hard to cover. And so this is a really good opportunity for all of us to be here. I'm like Kevin, you really get humbled when you get elected to a position. They sat at my table, and I have to say it was a Democrat that sat at my table for 6 years and said, you need to run. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. It was really a hard decision, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of consideration, a lot of brain power, a lot of long nights. I was very, very discouraged. I told Tom this after the first year, because I wanted things to move faster. I wanted to see my results faster. Just doesn't work that way. And I'm starting to calm down and understand that money plays a big role in politics, a huge role. I have had the unique opportunity of having a lot of donations made to my campaign. And I always said that my first year I took the donations because I was told to take them. Well, you take them. I mean, if they send you money, take the donations, put them in the checking account, use it for your campaign. And after doing so, I felt like maybe I had stole a $20 bill from somebody. It just didn't feel right. So this year, I have chosen not to do that. I have only taken money from organizations that I belong to, which are the NRA. I've been a lifetime member of the NRA. I'm a strong Second Amendment supporter. And